Shalom, Kal Halayim La Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rachak Wadash. Double honors unto our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Much peace and blessings to all you sincere Akim out there that's pushing this 100% truth with all sincerity, faith, and with charity. This is your brother Ash from the Great Millstone Miami camp / Broward camp. Coming back with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. The Lord willing, this lesson is edifying unto the elect. This is going to be a quick lesson going into how it is about to get very grim out here in these streets. It's about to get very grim. Okay? And the Spirit is having me do this lesson because I've recently, over the past couple days, I've been meditating on the word grim or the word grimace. Okay? Like you had that old character from the McDonald's crew, the purple guy, Grimace, right? Which the word grimace goes into a disgust or angry look, a misfigured look, which is a facial expression. Okay, which that's a good thing to learn, just as a side note, tidbit. A good thing to study is micro expressions, facial expressions, body language in general. Okay, and that can be very beneficial or useful toward us that are doing this work, because we should all strive to be master communicators. And that doesn't mean that we all must be extremely eloquent or have a wide vocabulary, but we should all be very well or very good at communicating this truth. That's what this thing is all about, doing the work, teaching, preaching, prophesying. We're spreading the good news, so to our best ability, we should be able to communicate well with our audience, whether that is on the streets teaching, whether that's doing these lessons, okay, but mainly on the streets. We encounter different people with different personality types. We have to work on reading the room, reading people's temperature, which is all a part of having discernment, which is a gift from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. It's a tool that we must use. Okay? So, continuing on, I looked up that word grimace, which, of course, goes back to the word grim. Okay? And this is the etymology for the word grim. It says, Old English, grim, fierce, cruel, savage, severe, dire, painful. From Proto-Germanic grima, right? Old Saxon, Old Frisian, Old High German. Grim, angry, fierce, stern, horrible, dire. Okay, we know that the world is about to go into dire straits because the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, through His Son Yahweh Shai, who are in control of everything that there is, the Father of spirits, He has an agenda. He has goals that He will fulfill in the earth. And that is to bring judgment We all know that the inhabitants of the earth are at their highest level of wickedness that this world has ever seen. And it begins with those that are in power, the so-called Illuminati, the so-called elites who run the world. They are totally wicked. We know this, and it's coming out. Okay? Those of us that have the knowledge, that have the truth through the Spirit, starting with our apostles and elders and the men that came before them, have been letting it be known who the devil is. Okay? The so-called white man, Esau, Edom, the controllers, okay, of this world, are just that, the devil, which means to deceive, okay? And they push out evil, they push out idolatry, they push out wickedness, they push out covetousness, adultery, murder, okay, human sacrifice, child sacrifice, okay? The average woman here in Babylon the Great, which is America, sacrifices children, her own children, through so-called abortion, so-called Planned Parenthood. Okay, that's the norm in this society. Scamming is at an all-time high. And he's not satisfied with having control of the whole world or the level of control that he has. He's creating a digital system to where they will have total control over the people using artificial intelligence, different technologies that all fall under the beast system, and it's going to culminate in a mandatory device that is going to be used for buying, selling, tracking all of your health information, your whole day-to-day activities, so that you can be controlled. And we know that device to be the RFID microchip. They're coming also with this Neuralink, which is a brain-computer interface, which Elon Musk is just a face. He's just a puppet. You have other companies coming out with brain-computer interfaces. That all falls under Revelation 13 and 16. You have Bill Gates pushing this quantum dot technology, which that falls under the mark of the beast as well. It serves the same purpose. It's something injected into your skin that is going to be used for buying and selling, tracking and tracing. So it's basically the same thing. All right? The charagma. And these people are going to go for it because they're wicked and they are given to Satan. So because of all the wickedness that's taking place in the earth, must come a judgment, righteous judgment from Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, okay, the Father of spirits. And excuse the background noise, Salakia. And in order for Esau to push that chip or make it mandatory, he has to create famine in the earth. He has to create lack of resources. He has to create hyperinflation, which we see these things coming forth due to different things like this war going on with Iran and Israel, the closing of the Strait of Hormuz, Esau pushing out different diseases, genetically modified organisms like the Lone Star tick, giving people diseases to where they can't eat red meat. He has different things coming that are going to lock people in and starve them. So they have no choice but to take that mark. And that's all according to the Lord's plan. So great judgment is coming in the earth. It's about to get very dire, very grim, okay? Angry, which is perhaps imitative of the sound of rumbling thunder. Okay, when you hear thunder, on a spiritual level, instinctively, people become afraid. And they think about the Most High. They think about God, especially our people. So-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, who are the Israelites, the biblical Israelites. You're also going to have Israelites looking like the other nations. Okay? It says a weaker word now than once was, sense of dreary, gloomy. Okay, remember that word, gloomy. Okay, also can mean a goblin or a specter. Okay, perhaps also a proper name or attribute name of a god, hence its appearance as an element in place names, right? Like the Grim Reaper, figurative phrase for death. Okay. And they also see as a noun, specter, bogey, haunting spirit. And we know the scriptures speak about there being spirits created for vengeance. Fire, hell, death, the sword, lightning strikes, different natural disasters, volcanic eruptions. Perfect example, Mount Vesuvius destroying Pompeii. You look into Pompeii, you're going to see all manner of wickedness performed in Pompeii, which was during the time of the Romans being in power. They were into all type of wickedness, and the Lord rose up Mount Vesuvius and took them all out. And the same thing is getting ready to happen on a mass scale. The Lord is bringing these different nations together to fight against one another in this coming World War III. And it's going to end with nuclear missiles being shot off throughout the earth and landing predominantly here in Babylon the Great, which is going to burn this place to the ground. But just prior to that, you're going to have all manner of judgment coming. People taking each other out for a lack of bread. People just crashing out. And we're seeing the beginning of it right now. Okay? So without further ado, let's get some scriptures. Can't make this too long. First, I want to get 2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 1. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. And when you look at that word perilous, okay, goes back to the Greek kalepos. It says hard to bear. So like a hard to do, to take, to approach, hard to bear, troublesome, dangerous, harsh, fierce, savage. Okay, and we saw some of those words underneath the etymology of the word grim. So the scriptures are telling us plainly that times are about to get very dire, very fierce, very savage, very grim, very spooky. Because remember, it can also mean a haunting spirit. All these judgments that are taking place in the earth is because of the Lord's death angels moving about in the earth and taking people out, people that are not right, who perish being innocent. No one is innocent. And people are about to get their just deserts. And Lord willing, we that are doing this work, that have this knowledge, that are communicating this truth, along with those that believe in it, hearken unto it, and those that are underneath our authority are saved. Us and our households. Those of us that have the mark, the thawa, the mark of exemption. Those that are of the elect, okay, again, which we hope and pray to be a part of. Okay. Again, it says, verse 2, for or because men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy. And we're seeing all that in the earth. These people are straight up wicked, man. They're not in there. They're not in. They left. Okay. Salakia. From the old down to the young, these people are just off, man. So, Salakia, I want to get this too. This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 1, and verse 14. The great day of Yahweh is near. It is near and hasteth greatly, even the voice of the day of Yahweh. The mighty men shall cry there bitterly. So the mighty men are going to cry bitterly. 6'3", 6'4", Jack. Dudes thinking that they're John Wick, all the guns, about to cry like bitches. Okay? Verse 15. That day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness. Okay, so there you go. The gloominess, the grimness, it's coming. The NLT says it will be a day when the Lord's anger is poured out, a day of terrible distress and anguish, a day of ruin and desolation, a day of darkness and gloom, a day of clouds and blackness. So very grim, very spooky, very haunting. A day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities, against the high towers. And I will bring distress upon men, that they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against the Lord. And their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as the dung. Okay? So it's about to get real, man. And Lord willing, we are covered. Lord willing, we are kept and protected and provided for. Okay? So that's pretty much it. Just something I wanted to go into. I don't have much battery life, so I'm going to have to stop it here. With that, I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai. Till the next time, Shalom.